All right, folks, welcome back inside the janitor's closet. My name is Bryce Hunt. I am joined, as always, by Josh Frey-Sam. And folks, we're not hiding from it. Another step back last week, as in week four, our plays went 1-3, but our record overall is still 12-6-1, good for 66%. You're not going to hear any excuses from us, but what you will get is five new plays for week five as we try and learn from our mistakes and get better every week. Josh, are you excited for these plays, sir?
Of course, Bryce. Of course, always confident in the plays, and like you said, there's no reason to dwell on it. Took a step back and in a little bit of a rut, but hey, best way to do it is just get back right on the horse, right, and just keep on going. And we plan to do that. So, looking forward to this week's picks, and hopefully we can bring those brooms out once again, man. I will just one other thing I will say. There's a little bit of the sunglasses hate in the comments. Just saying, the rut started when those comments started coming in. So maybe if we get a little good juju going in the comments, where everybody wants to see the glasses back, the sunglasses back, maybe we can actually bring out the brooms once again. But I digress. We're not making excuses. Let's get back on the horse. Let's get going.
For sure. We will take anything we can get right now. So if you feel you need to put a sunglasses emoji in the comments to get
Yes,
some
sir.
mojo back on our sides, folks, feel free.
Yeah.
And with that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. We're going to keep pumping these things out every week, and we're hoping to stay around this 65-70% mark for this entire season. Bottom line, folks, if you would have told us at the start of the season, at the end of week four, we'd be 12-6-1, we'd be pretty happy with that. And we're going to be keep moving forward here. And it starts today as we are recording this on October 5th. So, as always, these plays will be coming from Bet365. Anything that happens later in the week, any injuries, big players out of the lineup, we will be tweeting out that information if we're pulling our picks at TJC Bets on Twitter or X. And yeah, that's feel free to follow that page there as well. And let's get right into it here with our first play for week five, Josh. We have the 2-2 New Orleans Saints taking a trip to New England to face the 1-3 Patriots.
Yeah, we got the 1-3 Patriots who are kind of spiraling right now and offensively as we expected them to all season, and we were low on them coming into the season, and we're still low on them. And then we also have now the newly banged up New England Patriots as well, who are going to be without Matt Judon and for some time, and are also without Christian Gonzalez, their star first round pick stud, who was arguably the leader for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's gone for the season with a shoulder injury. With that being said, we're going to go to the New Orleans Saints here, Bryce, and we're going to take the road team on this one. New Orleans +1. I'm still a big fan of the New Orleans Saints here. I mean, they took a step back had a stinker against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. I think this, although they're on the road going to Gillette, this is a prime bounce back opportunity for them. Derek Carr is one more week healthier, hopefully, from that AC joint sprain. They want to get Christian Olave, Chris Olave, pardon me, back in the mix here, feed him a little bit more. Alvin Kamara is a 1 week back. That defense is flying all over the place. They're looking to get back to form. I'm just a big fan of New Orleans here in this spot, whereas New England is trending downward. We're going to go take the New Orleans Saints, who are trying to get back on that horse themselves like we are. So New Orleans Saints +1 here on the road.
You mentioned that this is kind of the strongest the Saints offense has been health wise. And on the flip of that, the most banged up the New England Patriots have been a little bit of action in the trade market for them to try and fill some holes. But
Yeah.
it's never easy to make those adjustments in season and get everybody on the same page right away.
Yeah.
Our next play is the 2-2 Houston Texans visiting the 2-2 Atlanta Falcons. Josh, to the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, back to Atlanta here, and we got the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year here in C.J. Stroud, who, let me just say as well, was my QB1 entering this year. Now, I got a lot of love for Bryce Young. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of love, but C.J. Stroud was my QB1 coming into this year. I was preaching, and I said I was preaching that the Carolina Panthers should draft him #1 overall, and we are seeing the reason why. This Houston offense has been awesome. The defense has been a little bit suspect at times under D'Amico Ryans, but they still have a lot of pieces that they need to fill, right? They're kind of just working with a little bit of they're working with really young players and really not terrific veterans as well on that defense side of the ball. On the flip side, Atlanta, their defense is playing pretty well. Their offense is still has yet to kind of get going under Desmond Ridder, which has been a little bit of a surprise for me, to be honest with you. Having said that, we're actually going to take the over 41.5 in this game here, Bryce. And yeah, there could be a little bit hesitancy from some people taking the over here, but this is a really low number in my opinion. And the Houston offense, like I mentioned, is clicking, and the Houston defense is susceptible to the run. And anybody who watches the Atlanta Falcons knows that the Atlanta Falcons love to run the football with Bijan Robinson, who is the second in Offensive Player of the Year rankings right now, or odds. So we're going to bank on the Atlanta Falcons being able to do a lot of damage on the ground to get their offense going. Hopefully Desmond Ridder does not turn the ball over, helps them out, keeps them a smooth sailing. And the Houston Texans offense, hopefully, once again, even though they're going up against a strong Atlanta Falcons defense, hopefully they can just continue to roll here. So over 41.5, it's a low number. I like our chances of covering this one in Georgia.
For sure. So our next play here, Josh, we go from two really exciting teams, young teams, hungry teams, to a little bit of a toilet bowl here, and maybe one that wasn't really suspected as one coming into the year, as they both had extremely high hopes, bringing in
Yeah.
some new personnel. We have the New York Giants, or sorry, the New York Jets
Mm.
in Denver to face the Broncos. Both of these teams are 1-3.
Yeah, this one is we're going to take the first half under 21.5 here, Bryce. And this number's actually gone up. And I think the reason for that is the New York Jets offense finally looked like they started to actually click, specifically Zach Wilson last week. And the Denver Broncos defense has been insanely underwhelming this year. So with that being said, we're going to bank on the New York Jets not necessarily being world beaters out here. And also the Denver Broncos offense is going to go up against a very strong New York Jets defense. I do think that both of these teams are going to be motivated. Those who remember in the offseason, Sean Payton calling out Nathaniel Hackett for his poor coaching job that he did in Denver last year. So there's going to be a lot of animosity in this game. There's going to be a lot of I can guarantee you Robert Saleh is going to have that defense ready to go. So although Denver, the Broncos, who have been in three straight track meets this coming into this game with the Dolphins and the Commanders, and I can't remember their last game, the other game that they had there. Although they've been in track meets, I expect this offense to slow down significantly. And because the New York Jets offense isn't necessarily world beaters, I'm not banking on them putting up all-star numbers here. So this number's been climbing. This is a pretty high number for two teams that I just don't really believe in all that much. I'm going to take the first half under here, under 21.5.
And let's not forget that this New York Jets defense is still very capable, even with that 1-3 record. We saw them really shut down Patrick Mahomes to a clip of just over 200 passing yards.
Yeah.
All right, so some quick mental math. We'll have that at 3 plays. We mentioned we have 5, so our last 2 are coming from the same game. And this is going to be a lot of fun, folks. Set your alarm clocks because we're heading across the pond to London, England, with a start time of 8:30 a.m. Central Time, folks. We have the 3-1 Buffalo Bills taking the flight to meet the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have already been kind of in that area here with a pretty impressive win last week.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Bryce. In this, the Jacksonville Jaguars are already there. The Jacksonville Jaguars, we are going to be confidently taking Jacksonville plus 5.5 here. I think that this is just a little bit too big of a line, especially for a Jacksonville Jaguars team that has their clock set, has their alarm set, their schedule's in sync, their bodies are ready to go. That is huge in this case when you're traveling, 8 hours or whatever it is across the pond. I don't even know how long the flight is. But Buffalo is, I think, just getting out there today, if I'm not mistaken. They're not necessarily, there's always the fear of whether or not they're going to be able to click right away and kind of keep up. So we're going to bank on Jacksonville having that advantage, the clock advantage here. I think there's a little bit too much here on the line. They're giving Jacksonville not enough respect here, or giving the Bills a little bit too much respect in this case. Not saying Jacksonville wins this game by any means, but I definitely think that they can keep this thing pretty close. We're just going to stay in the same game here to finish things off as well. And because Jacksonville is clicking, I don't think I think that offense as well is going to be able to hopefully find their stride here finally here in London. Get Calvin Ridley involved. Get Christian Kirk. Continue to get him involved. And let's also keep in mind the Buffalo Bills are going to be missing Tre'Davious White now, so hopefully that is an advantage for Trevor Lawrence to sling it all over the yard. Now Von Miller could be making his 2023 debut this Sunday, which is something obviously to keep note of. But maybe he's on some sort of a pitch count potentially, so we don't always have to worry about him. Maybe he's only coming in on third downs. With that being said, also the Buffalo Bills offense is as hot as anybody in the NFL right now. So although they might need some time to click, I still hope we're just going to bank on the Buffalo Bills. Hopefully, maybe their offense being able to muster out enough points here. So it is a little bit of a higher number at 48.5. But I'm going to say that both these offensive, Jacksonville wants any shot at covering this number. I'm going to say they're going to have to put up some points here in order to do so. Maybe a little bit of a track meet. Buffalo Bills are no better team to do that with. So we're going to take over 48.5 here. And then, like I mentioned before, Jacksonville plus 5.5.
All right, so there you have it, folks. Hopefully, we will roll out of bed with a couple wins on the board on early Sunday morning, as we have Jacksonville plus 5.5 and the over 48.5 in that game between the Bills and the Jaguars. We have the first half under 21 for the New York Jets and Denver Broncos, the over 41.5 for Houston and Atlanta, and the New Orleans Saints plus 1 against the New England Patriots. Josh, let's get back to our winning ways here, huh?
Let's do it, man. Let's pull out the sunglasses, pull out the brooms. Let's get back at it, man. I'm looking forward to getting back to our winning ways.
We're hungry for it, folks. Hopefully, so are you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We look forward to bringing you this content every week and appreciate your support. And with that being said, happy gambling and good luck.